Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of The King Chase, and today I've got quite a special exam. It's one of my favorites. It's also probably one of the more difficult ones. So let's see what we have. Let's switch the board real quick because it's black to move, and the game is Yuri Averbach against Alexander Kotov, played in 1953. It's quite a famous exam, so you might know about it already, but if you haven't, or even if you have, you can still calculate it, and it's even if you have seen it before, it's not that easy. Okay, so it's black to move. The first move is pretty obvious, I would say, but then I would really like you to come to a conclusion, to really dive into a position and try to find a win. Try to really find a way to win here. Okay, so whenever you're ready, let's continue and have a look. Okay, if black plays rook h6, which would be kind of obvious move, then white is keeping everything protected with knight g1 or rook g4. Well, actually not rook g4 because of knight f6, but knight g1 is just keeping everything protected, and white is doing okay. So Kotov played the stunning move queen takes h3. He gives his queen for a single pawn. Okay, so let's see what happens. King takes, rook h6, king has to go to g4, knight f6 check, king goes to f5, and now knight d7. And while the king is out in the open, it's not that easy to mate him finally. Okay, knight d7 is a good move to not let the king go to e6, and now black wants to bring his rook into play. Okay, white protected or defended with rook g5, rook f8 check, king g4, knight f6 check, king f5. But now what? Now what? Maybe that's another chance for you to stop the video and have another look. How should black continue from here on? He can give several checks, several discovered checks with the knight, but what's best? What should he do? Okay, first of all, Kotov repeated the moves once, which is always a smart strategy, especially when you're coming close to the 40th move, which is usually time control, and right now we're in the 37th, so it's always a nice technique to do. Give you a little bit of extra time on the clock if you play with increment, and just gets you closer to the time control. Okay, so king f5, and now he took on d5. And that was an inaccuracy actually, because it's just giving white more options by opening up this d file. Just keep everything closed, keep the queen out of the play, and don't take on d5. This pawn is really not important right now. He should have played knight g8 back, what he does later, but it's the same thing in the game without the pawn on d5. It makes a little difference. So here and now, just take the rook on g5. King takes, and now rook f7 with the threat of rook g7 and rook f6 checkmate. So bishop h4, but now rook g7, king f5, and another subtle move, rook hg6, and now it's all over. There's no defense against rook f7, and yeah, followed by checkmate on f6. So that's it. So if you've seen that, congrats to you. Not easy, but you have to consider all possibilities and then try to find a way to create a mating net around the white king. So let's see what happened in the game. Knight takes d5, king g4, knight f6 check, king f5. Now he did exactly that, what I just talked about. And here we are again. Same position, bishop h4. But the difference is now that if black is doing the same thing we just saw. Gives his check, plays rook hg6. Now, by the way, there's also a threat of knight h6, so queen d5 doesn't help. White can give the queen on d6 now. And here he's still holding on. So it's not over yet, okay? White is still in the game, obviously, here. So Kotov found another way. So what did he do? If this doesn't work, what else can black do? So one more exercise for you guys to solve. How do you finally get this damn king mated? Okay. So whenever you're ready, let's go ahead. Rook g6, actually. King h5, and now rook fg7. And actually kind of the same idea, but this time not mating on f6, but mating on h6. White only has one way to prevent that, by playing bishop g5. Now rook takes g5, king h4, and knight f6. Now mate is coming from here. Knight g3, rook takes g3, queen takes d6, but it's all futile. White can give one check, but rook g8, and well, checkmate is coming, or well, white could give the queen, but then he's just a piece down for nothing, and that's over too. So at this point, white resigned. Before I conclude this video, I was just curious, just what I thought right now. Can black also play rook g6 here? Maybe he can, but or maybe it's just the same thing or similar. But white is having maybe this option here of knight takes f4 as well, but this is of course also winning for black. So there was probably another way here for black to win. Regardless, beautiful mating attack by Kotov. He gave the queen, and I think he also let his intuition guide him a little bit here. I don't think he saw it until the end. Still, I asked you to do that because I would really like you to just take as much from these examples as possible and try to practice your calculation skills. But what is important, if you play such a combination, that you have a safety anchor, and the safety anchor was right here when right here when he already had a perpetual for sure. He could always make a draw, so that's nice to have. You know, if for some reason you can't find a win, then at least you always have a safety anchor, you can make a draw. So if you're going for a combination, then it's really something you might be looking for to make sure you're safe. At least you won't lose at the very least. Okay, how did you like this example? I would like to hear that. I would love to hear your comments and hear what you saw, and then I'll see you soon. Bye.